Thank you. Ms. Chaires-Espinoza?
This is harder than I imagined. Thank you all for your kind words, and gosh, right back at you, honestly. It might be a little disjointed because it's hard to collect my thoughts, but in education, often we speak, sometimes with an eye roll, about our why. In a position such as this, I've found that keeping that focus on my why has been essential. And my why is in the room. My parents, Roberto and Teresa, who immigrated to this country with a combined 4 years of primary education, managed to build a good life for me and for my brothers. Through their dedication to education, they managed to provide a springboard for their children. So they became my why. I dedicated my professional life and my career in public service to improving access to education and dismantling barriers so that all kids could achieve their dreams. And when my son was born, he became part of my why, and he strengthened that commitment. Mami, papi, Nico, los quiero mucho, son lo que motiva todo lo que hago, y no pudiese haberlo hecho sin su amor y su apoyo. I want to thank all of my colleagues, present and past. We have collaborated, we have challenged each other, we have grown. I've learned so much from each and every one of you. And I think, for those of you who watch these meetings often, it may be difficult to understand, but I think what we develop up here is sort of a sibling relationship, that we need those bonds in order to challenge each other in the ways that we need to do this work. And most of us on this board have a distinct responsibility, along with Mr. Hoffman, of facing some truly unprecedented times. And in early 2020, we monitored the developments of this novel virus, and the facts on the ground were changing by the hour. The requirements, the guidance were in flux constantly, and of course, as we pushed that out to the people we serve, that was pretty hard for them to follow. But we did that because we were able to draw on the fact that we knew each other and we respected each other, both everybody here, our labor partners, all of our employees. We pulled together and we were able to do that. It was certainly hard to be, we still think, the first district in the country to have to make that very difficult call that was ultimately followed by most, and to have to, put our students and employees and families through a really trying period. It was the least bad option that was available at the time, but I couldn't have asked for a better team to have to go through that with. Every single one of you just, really showed your true colors. Just everybody was at their peak performance, and it was a beautiful thing to see. It truly was. I've often said that the best perk of this job was the number of teachers you suddenly have. And I'm not just referring to classroom instructors, but to every single person across every single district who took the time to teach me about what it takes to support our students in all the ways that this district serves students and families. I don't want to go down the list of departments or sites, because if I inevitably forget somebody, I don't want to offend, but I want to thank every single district employee at every site and every department who serves our students in ways that are seen and unseen by the public, for their dedication and their commitment. It has been the greatest honor to work alongside you in lifting up our students and preparing them for successful futures. There are too many of you to mention, but I will miss you all. I've been able to bring my mama bear energy on behalf of 63,000 kids every single year for 10 years, through every action and every decision. This has been an experience of such passion and love that I can't adequately describe it. I want to thank every single person who trusted me with this responsibility, and who helped me to even get this opportunity. Being able to make school and life just a little bit better for our students and employees and their families is a privilege that I will miss and an honor I will always be grateful for. To the next board, to the folks who will follow in our footsteps here, you're about to embark on a great adventure. And I hope the consequences of the decisions on the lives of the thousands of people we serve and their families are never lost on you. It's a steep learning curve in the best of times. Give yourself grace and make sure you use all of these wonderful teachers that you're acquiring overnight. The years ahead are going to bring new and unique challenges to our students and their families. And I pray that you will always place yourself as their protectors and their advocates in every way possible. So with that, thank you all very much.
Mr. Forcina?
Thank you, Gina. Having you talk has caught me by surprise. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. I've spent over 40 years in education. 13 years ago, this district was facing many challenges, and I had many people encourage me because of my passion and my background to run for a seat on the Board of Education. And I did. And the people of the district overwhelmingly brought me in to do the work I could do. Over the last 12 years, I have worked tirelessly to ensure that all children have quality instruction, that everyone is a part of children's learning. We still have work to do in that area. Parents need to be an important part of what happens with their children. Parents need to be an important part of the decisions that are made with respect to what programs are going to be provided and how money is going to be spent. We're here for only one reason, and that's the children. And that's what I've dedicated myself to over the years. What has been pleasing is the many people that I have had an opportunity to directly work with and get to know. The teachers in the classroom and the people who work directly with the teachers are the ones that make a dramatic difference every day of the week. And the classroom, above all, is what needs to be supported. The children are the source of the income for the district, and that income needs to be spent wisely in providing direct services to the children. It's amazing how fast the last 12 years have gone. I've had the wonderful opportunity of visiting all of the sites numerous times, attending PTA events, attending PTO events, attending the opening of schools, launching new programs, bringing in new people. And the focus has always been, in terms of my involvement, is to try to ensure that the principles that we believe in are those principles that we indeed foster through our actions. Certainly going to miss being here, working closely as I have had with a lot of people, especially in the area of school support, special ed, visual performing arts, program development evaluation. Just doing your job is not enough. Knowing whether or not it makes a difference is what's important. The evaluation tools that we have employed have worked towards the development of having that information. For me, today is not an end because I'm not going away. I'm going to stay with FFA. I'm going to stay with VAPA. I'm going to stay with our Native education programs. So I won't be sitting up here, but I will still be involved in the district, and I look forward to those opportunities. I thank everybody for welcoming me in. I thank everybody for their involvement. We all have the same goal. We may look at different ways of accomplishing those goals, but the goal's always the same: provide the best for our kids. Thank you.
Mr. Perez?
Perez.
I echo those words. That's why I'm here. But I come from a different background, or maybe the same background, but I haven't forgotten where I came from. I come from poverty. I had access to a lot of good programs throughout my life. And I want my community, children, students, to have those opportunities also. That's why I'm here. I didn't plan to be here 12 years, to tell you the truth. I planned to be here 8 years to learn the system again, because I was gone from the system, educational system. I was in primary care, rural health branch, working with primary care clinics. And within that arena, I learned a lot about primary care, maternal child health issues, family planning issues, and also the last one, WIC, Women's Infant Children's Programs. All these programs affect our children, our students. That's another component that I was not aware that our students need in our communities throughout California, throughout our nation. And so I was very privileged to work in that environment. And as a result of that, I'm going to go back, work at the Capitol, advocate for change again. I've been here in this community, Sacramento, since 73, 75. I was a teacher corps intern learning about education. And I was mentored by many great mentors. Cesar Chavez, political activist Willie Brown, all these, Nancy Pelosi, they're still around, pulling strings, making change, a variety at different levels. And today at the Capitol, we have a very good legislators who are very concerned about education and how to get out of this economic poverty cycle. They're working on this. And number one goal is to educate our students in our communities. And that's what it's about. Liberation, I call it, liberating the mind. And what happens when you liberate the mind? Change comes individually, community, family. Change is good. Some people could handle change, can't handle change. Some people can. but be prepared to handle change. IT, if you don't know what IT goes through every week, it's like the Kodak camera. When I was a kid, I almost had to buy a new camera every other month because I want to keep up with the latest technology. And today we have to keep up on IT software, new IT phones. So every day we are changing, learning. And that's what it's about. Lifetime learners. We are lifetime learners. Don't ever think that you know everything. We don't. One important thing, another thing, is institutional history. This gentleman right here, I was very fortunate to work with. He has that. You heard what he told us today. And he's going to stick around. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to be at that podium, maxing my 3 minutes or 2 minutes they give me, because it's important. We still need to be engaged, regardless where you're at, what you're doing. You know, every day I'm learning something. Like I said, institutional history is an internal component to any organization. And you have it, Mr. Forcina, Ms. Chaires. Down the board, you have it. Stick with us. Yes, I did learn, you mentioned about me and my attitude, or I call it a little trouble. And my nickname was Troublemaker from elementary school, junior high, because I was an advocate. They labeled me as a troublemaker because I was advocating for my fellow students. You know what's wrong with that? When you see injustice, stand up for your fellow person, fellow student. If you think there's something wrong in the world, speak up about it. That's why we're here in the United States of America. We have a Constitution that gives you the freedom to speak your mind. Learn the Bill of Rights. And now I'm going to be transitioning as a stakeholder. Is that the terminology? Stakeholder or representative of the community? Because we haven't finished our job. We haven't. Like I said, the world's changing too fast. Too many new things, new policies, new laws. You have to be on top of them. One thing that's always been on my mind about the school district, and I brought it up the last school board. The question is this school district too big to service 63,000 students? That's a big question. And are we doing a quality job for these students in socio-economic areas? And I know if you come from a socioeconomic community that has high poverty rates, your chances, you don't have a third grade reading level, you will end up in a prison. And I'm very aware of that because I worked within prisons. I've seen our failures in schools, in districts. And I taught these students, some people call them inmates, but they're within the educational academic arena, within a prison, we call them students. And I've seen a lot of change, good, positive outcomes within prisons, within academic, vocational arena. They come back into our communities with high school diplomas. Now they're pursuing, we're having more opportunities for these individuals to pursue higher education, junior college, 4-year college degrees. And I'm going to advocate for that. When these individuals do time, let's have them do good time. And when they come back into our community, they have either a vocation or some degree to work and be a good citizen. Yes, I am very passionate about this position, but I'm willing to get it put up. And I think we have an individual that's going to be sitting in my position within next week that is committed for change. And I'll be working with her. And like I said, I'll be at the 3-minute podium. When I see an agenda item that I can contribute and talk about the issues, pros and cons, I will be here. Like Mr. Forcina would say, we're committed to education. Thank you.